Oh, good morning. Easter Sunday. No idea what time it is. 7:45. Hope everyone's well on this Easter morning. And here we are. I was thinking this morning as I was walking. Good morning, Nicole. I was thinking this morning I was walking towards the loch. I went, oh, that's me. I'm like almost halfway through my challenge. Morning, Jimmy. I was thinking this morning when I was walking to the loch, God, yes, that's me halfway through my challenge. You know, I've only got another 2 weeks to go and then I've done a month. And then I started thinking about recovery and, you know, white knuckle sobriety. And I thought, well, what you're really doing then is you're not really in it. You're just holding your breath and doing it. I could hear these little feet step coming towards me there. It's a runner. And you still get a bit self-conscious. I can see talking to yourself. Good morning, Mr. Dunlop. Morning, Lindsay. It's a gorgeous morning. So, fear of change. And, you know, I just rabble off the top of my head. I don't prepare anything. So even this morning I was hesitant about doing this because I just was like, right, start the gears. So fear of change, what are we on? We're on Easter Sunday. And I was thinking, what does Easter Sunday represent? And it represents resurrection, it represents rebirth. And you know, whether you look at that literally or you look at that as a metaphor, we are all dying and being reborn every second of every day. It's, and somebody threw this, keep strong, the strong survive, somebody said. We need to keep strong, it's the strong that survive. Well, is it the strong that survives? Or is it those that are more apt to change, and therefore those that have found a way of being able... Morning, Richard. So is it the strong that survive, or is it those that are more apt at change, those that can face adversity and reinvent themselves? So Easter Sunday, resurrection. How do we reinvent ourselves? Hello. A blackbird up in that tree there. How do we reinvent ourselves in this time? Now, I think a lot in metaphor, so a lot of the things that I say is metaphorical. 6 feet apart now. Yep. So, rebirth. Now, this coronavirus, things may go back to how they were, things may not go back to how they were. There might be a huge marketing campaign currently getting made by, Saatchi and Saatchi to, might be the biggest gaslighting situation of all time, where after we come out the other side of this, they just remarket all the things that we need to make us feel good again, because we've been starved of those external trappings. And they'll probably minimise it, and you never saw people running around with masks on and it wasn't that bad, just to try and bring some balance back, but not really dealing with how people have been, dealing with the levels of anxiety that's going to come up. And when we feel anxious, what do? We medicate that anxiety. If we feel self-conscious or weak, we use materialistic things to make us feel better. People they cover their carcass with jewels and crowns in order to make them feel superior, but at the end of the day we all have a similar angst. We're all scared of being seen, we're all scared of being vulnerable, we're all scared of dying. So the resurrection, I'm jumping about because I never really knew what to think about this morning, but talk about fear of change. And change is a death, because our old paradigm, our old habits, our old behaviours that we were doing, when we realised that it's time to change those, It's a letting go because we've become habitualised in them. And then we've got to step towards the new. We've got to step towards a new way of being. So there's lots of cycles of birth and rebirth going on. And you can make a choice. You can make a choice for it to be an easy birth or a difficult birth. You know, a lot of people that are codependent want it to be a caesarean. A lot of codependent people don't actually want to push through the canal. They just want to, oh, just somebody lift me out of this. Somebody tell me what to do and I'll do it. Just tell me what I need to do right now and I'll go do that. So, I've been watching round about me for a number of years, and I was, you know, like to do with marketing and marketing in myself and kind of target audience and who you think about, and you see people that, well, what audience do you want? Right, let's talk about the secret, let's talk about manifestation, let's talk about, and then I'll grab all them, and then you get the angel card people. Right, I'll set myself up and I'll do angel cards. Or you get the Reiki brigade, and I'll market myself to these people that are into, you know, putting salt at their front door and sage in their front door. And I thought, well, what audience do you want, Ross? So I kind of do the work I do is around about addiction. And because my work has been around addiction, I tend to think in those kind of terms. I tend to think in terms of addiction. And although I'm sober, started my journey into sobriety 27 years ago, and I've been completely 100% abstinence from everything, including pharmaceutical medication, since 2006. I think of addiction and addiction to this external world, how we've become addicted to it. But we don't realise how addicted we've become to it, because it kind of has a subtle way of being able to just dovetail in, and we adapt so quickly because we're adaptogens to things. And even in a lot of Christian practices, in a lot of, we're looking for something outside of ourselves. People are setting intentions now. It's not goal setting any longer. Goal setting was the 90s. Now it's intention. Set your intention. But sometimes you've got to be able to go in order to bring it out. And what I woke up thinking about this morning, and I don't see what it's got to do with fear of change, but if I start babbling about it, it might come through. I was thinking about the narrow gate and the wide gate. And we enter through the narrow gate, for the wide gate can lead to destruction. Right? That was what was in my head when I opened my eyes this morning. I went downstairs and had a cup of herbal tea and was thinking about what does that mean? Is the external world the wide gate, and it leads to lots of dangers and trappings, illnesses? We're looking outside. And the narrow gate, could the narrow gate be the gate that we have to travel? Because the kingdom of heaven, whatever that might mean, a more expansive consciousness even, a more expansive way to being, the gateway through to a kingdom. But that narrow gate, in order to get through it, feels like a birth canal. It feels tight. It feels difficult. It can feel painful at times. And lots of people are in a birth right now. Lots of people are birthing a new way of being. They're kind of stopped between, well, what can I do and what could I do? But this pause button is naturally allowing us to drop inside. Now, if there is a God, and I'm not saying there is, what better a place to hide him than would be inside? Because we're all looking for him outside. Where is he? Is he in the sky? God's up there, he's in the sky, or God's in the trees. What better place to hide God than hide him inside somewhere? So, death of the high beta wave frequencies of the external reality that we have, which is somewhere between 1800 and 3600 hertz on a brain image. So we became addicted to this beta frequency, this very fast buzzing frequency. And what would go along with that would be a lot of chemicals. Whereas when we start to drop inside and we start to meditate and pray, the beta drops away, the high frequency drops away, the sort of 18 to 3600 hertz drop away. And what we're left with is a low range frequency of brainwave activity, probably more like alpha and theta, which would be 400, somewhere between 400 hertz and probably 800, 900 hertz. On a bell graph curve, you'd be looking for somewhere in the middle for optimum. So I'm guessing an optimum meditation hertz, I don't know, would be sort of 500 hertz or something like that. So that's considerably slower. So as the wave and the electrical activity of the brain starts to slow down, the amount of chemicals that we get are significantly reduced as well. Right, so that then gives us the opportunity to drop inside. And you know, I know this isn't meditation, but when I'm meditating, I'm having all kinds of wacky visuals and, you know, but from a Buddhist perspective or a Buddhist teaching, that's just another distraction. But I quite like that, so I hang out in that realm. And you know, I see all kinds of things in like neon cities, and I go flying around them, and I fly when I'm meditating, and I'm just full of DMT as soon as I activate that pineal gland, I'm off. Now I know that that's not meditation, that's probably just activating something and then staying in that position. The true nature of meditation, and I'm not belittling it in any way, the studies of which I have had on meditation, it's about going continually through the levels of the mind. So even to drop into meditation for so many people is difficult, because they became habitualised to the monkey mind, the chattering, the busyness of the external mind, and having to drop into the internal world, which can be a challenge, which can feel like dying because we're letting go of a part of ourselves. Now, another thing I thought about dying, you know, so much of our ego and meaning is placed on the work we do, the way we drive, how we contribute, what we give. And because that's not got the ego's not really got as much of a stage right now, because we've lost the meaning in, if we're not working. And even if we're working from home, we've lost that social interaction, the camaraderie of the workplace. I'm really missing that. I'm really missing the banter in the morning. I'm really missing being able to problem solve and think and certainly brainstorm. I'm missing that. I've lost a sense of importance that I get from my work. I'm not getting that. It's just very different. And how does that tie into today and the resurrection? So, in order for us to move into a new way of being, first thing we've got to do is we've got to let go of the old. We've got to let go of the old way of being. And none of us really want to do that, because we became so habitualised and conceptualised in our way of thinking. So, a suggestion for that would be create the correct intention. And I'm just looking at a bottle on the side of the road there. It's not just about creating the right intention. For me this time, it's an education and a learning in being with myself, in opening my heart to myself, in opening myself to attack, and being okay with that. I get messages that are positive from people. I get messages from people that are very negative. Now, the old Ross would have took that criticism and not been able to manage that criticism, right? And that would have been a good point to have given up and to just have stopped. And that would have been a great excuse. So, goal setting, setting an intention. So lots of people set goals from their mind. And another thing which The person to whom is giving you the information, I have a belief that that person, it works better if they've lived it. So for me, clients that I've had through drugs and alcohol, compared to a therapist, counsellor, psychiatrist, psychologist that hasn't walked through recovery, the feedback that I get is those that have had the comparison of both, they enjoy, they get more out of it, knowing that I've actually went through that. Now that could just be in their mind. But so many people are talking about things just because they've read it in a book. How abundant are the people that are talking about abundance? People are turning around, they're calling themselves a coach and everything. I'm a personal development coach. I'm a coach to the celebrities. I'm a celebrity coach. And all these fanciful names for it. And have they actually walked through it? Have they actually walked through knowing what it's like if you had a child that was disabled, or a child that was autistic, or a child that had dyslexia or ADHD? If you were met with some parent that had also that experience versus a parent that didn't have that experience, which one are you naturally more drawn towards? So the reason that I'm giving this example is I'm very conscious right now that I'm about to start talking about opening your heart. And I'm not 100% sure if my heart is completely open. Right? And I'm very, very conscious now about my integrity. Because I'm looking round about me at this personal development world. Okay? And I'm seeing very, very little integrity in it. Now, this is a long, unwinded example. I'm just blabbering this morning. If I'm seeing that level of lack of integrity, then the way that I think, I have to look at my lack of integrity. Okay, so is that a projection? Am I projecting onto these people that there's a lack of integrity? Now, the coaches that I know in this area, one of them is a well-known womanizer. He sleeps with his clients, he sleeps with people that come on his courses. As I said to you, I've got one, there's a few round about this area, touted themselves up as motivational speakers. Some of them I know are snorting gear, they're snorting cocaine, they're partying at the weekends. Some of them are just delusional because they're in the gym in New Lanark, yet they post on that day that they're in Los Angeles or whatever. I watched a video somebody sent me, what do you think of this guy? This guy's a life coach or whatever he is. And I'm watching him now. I don't like saying I've done NLP, but I did. I studied with Bandler in Breen in 98. Right? So you've got these little cues that you can look for. And I saw this local coach, I don't know where he is, but this pal of mine sent me it. And he's talking about his clients. He's like, I'm that busy now. I'm that busy with my clients now, so I've only got a few minutes to do this talk, right? Which actually went on for like 30 minutes. But every time he mentioned the client that he had this morning or the clients that he's going to have this afternoon, he either looked away or his eyes went the wrong way, and I'm looking at him going, you've not got any clients, buddy, have you? You were no working this morning and you're no working this afternoon. And making us feel that this is going to have to be a really quick talk. But in actual fact, you blabbered on and swore and da-da-da-da-da, and was making wee quirky jokes. And I thought, so if you're looking at that for a business model and he's looking at the avatars that he wants to attract, no disrespect, that's not the kind of avatars that I want. That's not the kind of people that I want to attract. I want to work and give to people that are willing to accept their failings, that are willing to accept that they're nasty, that they're judgmental, that they are gossips, that they talk about people, that they have this internal turmoil where they've got putting all their energy into not being honest. Aye, and being nice people. I want to work with the shadows. I want to work with people that are willing to just admit how nasty they actually are. So I went off a little bit there, and I was being honest that I was about to start talking about setting intentions, leading from a heart place, leading from your heart, leading from the heart, opening your heart to a higher power, a higher consciousness, a higher love, starting to love yourself. And I'm very aware that I'm going to be honest, my heart's not open. It's a little bit further open than it was last week or last month. It's a little bit more closed in certain areas than it was last week or last month. My heart hasn't burst open like a flower petal blooming in the middle of my chest, and I am experiencing expansive, vast, universal consciousness and walk with God and Muhammad and Buddha and Dalai Lama every day of my life. That's not true. From my perspective, goal setting from a literal or a lateral perspective, of even from an agonic perspective, worked. It worked very well in the 90s. 2000s, we're in 2020, and I feel that in order for us to start to be more open to one another, we're really being called to open our heart and start to set our intention from a heart-based perspective, which means self-love, love for other people, love for where you're at, be that in a not negative place or not. Don't deny it, accept it. Love all, love the traitor that's in you, love the predator that's in you, love the addict that's in you. And start to let go of the shame. Hello, I don't have any bread. We'll have a wee blether with you though. Hello, Mr. Swan. You don't need to make much noises. We're chatting about living from the heart. What do you think about that, Mr. Swan? Not very much? Okay. Morning, Scott. How are you? I'm really well, thank you. I'm loving the lockdown, yeah, it's fantastic. I'm doing it just now, so you're in it as well. My dog is, that's my friend Scott, and my dog's just, little Ralph's giving him a really hard time. Right, Scott, you're on Facebook Live. What's your message for Easter Sunday? Stay safe. Right, brother, stay cool. Ralph, why were you being so nasty? Hi, Jacob. Why were you being a little nasty? Right, setting intentions for the heart, looking round about me, seeing a lot of places where people are... My dog's turned into like a Rottweiler. He never does that. He must be scared of Scott's presence. Yeah, I see so much places where coaches and therapists and people that are setting themselves up in this world are completely and utterly out of integrity. And as I'm looking at moving forward into a more digital world and working with people, and because things are going to change, how can we do that? How can I do that in the most amount of integrity possible? And for me, the avatars that they would say that you need to create in business, I'm no longer willing or wanting to work with people that just want, it's like even the clients that would go and say, oh, you know, I've just done a weekend with such and such. It's like, and then they don't do anything about it. You never see them. It's like everybody wants to be a coach, but not everybody wants to be coached. It's a difficult market. So the reason I'm saying that to you on this day is Easter Sunday. It's about being risen again, isn't it? And we've got the chance to be risen again. We've got the chances to live life real, authentic and true from the heart. It's also my intention. Thanks, Ross, for being here in your words. And that's nice. So, aye. You want to run about with fake folk, or you want to run about with folk that are real? And I think the way of being real, and I'm just I'm just absolutely exhausted with the hypocrisy, and quite frankly, I'm going to say it. Don't got to mind my mirth, but it's bullshit. I'm absolutely exhausted with the bullshit. I'm tired with it. And you know, you can choose what you do with hearing about it, but if you've not got the guts to say it to somebody's face, don't say it at all, because every time you talk about somebody else, you're really talking about yourself. He who has no sin, cast the first stone. And back again, why should I take the speck of dust out my brother's eye when I can't take the plank out my own? This isn't glitzy and glamour. This isn't oh rah 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 rah. This is real life. It's real digging. People are really, really suffering. And those that are willing to get real about the darkness that's inside them and the shadows that's been ruling their life to this point, we can awaken to a new and a brighter and a more authentic way of being, but only when we lift the trapdoor and start to let the shadows enter, rather than letting them slip through the cracks and run ragged in our world and cause pain and suffering to ourselves and everybody that's in it. Let's make what is not seen seen. Let's make what is unconscious conscious. And the beginning of rebirth, growth, and indeed another yearly cycle that marks this day of resurrection. So have a fantastic Sunday. God bless. Be safe in whatever you do, and I promise I'll have a bit more energy tomorrow. That run yesterday nearly broke my wee legs. Wee sparrow legs. Have a great day. Thanks for listening. God bless. Bye bye.